What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Student High Show. Today is May 17th, 2022, and yesterday there was some interesting news coming out of Cincinnati. According to Tyler Dragon, Bengals star safety Jessie Bates has no intentions of playing under the franchise tag this season. And the Bengals franchise tag Jessie Bates back on March 8th, and for the franchise tag, he would be making $12.91 million. That would make him a top five, highest paid safety in the NFL, with the tag of this season. It's really interesting. I'm not really surprised we're talking about this right now, especially, with the Bengals drafting Jackson Hill, the safety out of Michigan in the first round of the draft just a couple weeks ago. And, when you look at this, deadline for the Bengals to get a deal done with Jessie Bates, the deadline is July 15th. So I'm hoping they really can get a deal done, possibly. It's interesting because with Bates, there were some reports he wanted 18 to 20 million. In my opinion, I don't think he's worth that at all. If I'm the Bengals, the absolute most I would pay him is 15. And honestly, that to me is still kind of pushing it a little bit there. Because when you look at Jessie Bates, his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he was freaking phenomenal. I mean, he was terrific. In the 2020 season, I would say he was the best safety in the NFL. His first 3 seasons, he had at least 100 tackles and 3 interceptions in each of those years. His first 3 years, he had 31 passes defended. And then when you look at this past season, it was just absolutely crazy. It looked like he was playing like hide and seek. Like you just could not find him on the football field for the Bengals making plays for whatever reason. This past season for us, he had a career low in 88 tackles. He only had 1 interception, and he had just 4 passes defended. And when you look in the 2021 season, he was just not himself. Talking about that 2020 year, that was the year Burrow got hurt, and we won only 4 games. Jessie Bates was one of our only bright spots of that season. We're expecting him to have even a better season in the 2020 campaign. Our team overall was great. Obviously, we go to the Super Bowl, but there were so many players on defense that really stepped up for us, like Logan Wilson, Chidobe Awuzie. But the guy we expected to have the best year, and Jessie Bates, he just did not have that. Like I said, only 1 interception, the career low in tackles. But in the playoffs, he did play really good for us in our playoff run that we made it to the Super Bowl. In 4 games, he had 20 tackles and 2 interceptions. He had more interceptions in the playoffs in just 4 games than he had the entire regular season. So his inconsistent play to me is what really will make this interesting if the Bengals get a new deal done with Jessie Bates. And looking with Jessie Bates, when you look at some of these safeties who have signed recently, Marcus Williams, the safety who signed with the Baltimore Ravens just a month or so ago, he signed a 5-year contract worth $70 million. That's 14 per season. You look at Honey Badge, Tyrann Mathieu signed with the New Orleans Saints last week for 3 years worth $27 million. That's only 9 per season. But I will say something with Honey Badger. He's 30 years old. Jessie Bates is 25 years old. That's also the same age as Marcus Williams, who I just said is making 14 per season. You also look at Jamal Adams, signed a contract a year or so ago, making him the highest paid safety in the NFL. He's making $17.5 million per season with a 4-year contract worth $70 million. Like I said, if I'm the Bengals, I'm kind of looking here at a 14 to 15 range. Let's say 4 for, I don't know, let's say 58, 4 for 60. But that's the limit to me. Ultimately, I think the thing that's really, separating the Bengals in Jessie Bates and the contract extension, it might be, the money. Maybe it's 18 or 15. Maybe they can meet in the middle in 16 or something like that. But I think the main reason why a contract has yet to be done with Bates and the Bengals is the guaranteed money. When you look at Jessie Bates, obviously, I would say he wants guaranteed money, and that's something the Bengals have not really done much in the past, is give out a lot of guaranteed money for players and contracts. And when you look at Jessie Bates's agent, he shares the same agent as Deshaun Watson. That's something to look into. Obviously, we saw Deshaun Watson get over $200 million guaranteed with, the contract he just signed with the Browns a couple months ago. So I think, part of the reason this, situation has not really been handled is because the guaranteed money could come into play as well. So like I said, when you look at this, they have until July 15th to get an extension done for Bates. And also something else, it's interesting because when you look at all these Bengal players, we have so many young, talented players. But in the 2024 offseason, I know this is a couple years away. In the 2024 offseason, we have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Chidobe Awuzie, Logan Wilson, DJ Reader, and Jonah Williams, all free agents. So to me, I feel like if we give Jessie Bates this top dollar money, there's a good chance we're not going to be able to re-sign one of those guys or a couple of those guys. And I've seen stuff, it's one of those deals like, would you rather have the Bengals sign Jessie Bates to a 4-year deal worth like $16 million per season, $15 million per season? Or would you rather have that money in a year or two once T. Higgins is a free agent, give him a contract instead? And they also share a same agent as well. I would like for the Bengals to get a deal done with Jessie Bates, but I do not want them overpaying him. Like I said, 15 to me is probably about the absolute limit I would give him. But it should be very interesting these next 1 months if the Bengals and Jessie Bates can work out something. Hopefully, they can get a deal done before the July 15th deadline. He will be playing for us week 1 instead of hopefully him not holding out. But that about does it for this video. Let me know what you think of the Jessie Bates situation in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel or you've seen videos before, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hine Show.